I grew up in the western suburbs of Sydney, about 75 k's from Sydney CBD, in a suburb called Wilberforce. And my perception of wealth when I grew up was the family that had the house on the river, they had a Land Cruiser, they had the wakeboard boat. These people just seemed happier and they seemed to have less stress and less worries than I did in my own life. And at that time, I had almost zero stress and worries in my life. From when I was probably 5 to being in my mid-teenage years, material possessions exemplified happiness. I thought that the more stuff that I had, or the more stuff that other people had, the happier they must be, the less stress they must have in their life, and the easier their life is on a day-to-day basis. And to be honest, that is the thing that lit the fire inside of my stomach to want to go out there and to want to chase all of these things, because I thought that if I get these things, I am going to be happier and my life is going to be easier. So the faster that I got them, the easier my life would be for a longer period of time. And that's what led me on the journey to go out and buy my first property at 18 and to start my first business and to really focus on increasing my income, because if I increased my income and I increased my wealth, the more things that I could get and the easier my life would be. Well, I can assure you that I was very, very wrong, because I have all of that stuff and more. I've got more money and more wealth and more possessions than anyone that I knew growing up. And I can assure you, my life now is more complex, has moments of more unhappiness than I ever had growing up as a kid. And now for me to tell you that it's not all as it seems, and it's probably not going to be as good as you think it's going to be when you get this stuff, would be naive of me. Because lots of people told me as I was growing up, money does not equal happiness, and having all of these things is not going to make your life any better, which is easy for people to say. But from my own experience, I needed to go out there and I needed to actually experience all this stuff to actually realize that it wasn't as good. Now, as soon as I could afford to buy my first supercar, which I did at 23 years old, I went out there and bought it. As soon as I could get the place next to the beach and live by the ocean, I did it. And every time that I went and did one of these things and I got one of these things, I realized that there was this moment of euphoria for maybe 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, depending on what it was. And then all of a sudden it went away and I just wanted that next thing. I wanted to chase the next thing and I wanted to get that thing that I didn't already have. And the stuff that I already had all of a sudden become less relevant to me because I had ticked that box. And it was only as I started to acquire more and more and more and go and do more and more stuff and experience more and more things that I realized that this is a never-ending pursuit of nothing.